Sorry for the glitch, guys. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters.
I'm sorry for the inconvenience. मुझे पता नहीं था.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll start with the introduction of guests. Gaurav, guest Gaurav, are you there? Oh, sorry. Yes, Gautam. Yes, Gautam, are you there? Yes, Rushikesh. Yes, Rushikesh.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Can you give a brief introduction about yourself and how did you get to know about Capital City Toastmasters?
Yes, ma'am. Myself, Rushikesh Ajit Kumar Dama. I am from Pune, Maharashtra. Currently, I am pursuing my BTech from chemical engineering.
Okay, how did you get to know about the club?
Our communication skill teacher told me about this club.
Okay, I hope you will have a great time here. Yes, Akash, are you here?
Yes.
Can you give a brief introduction about yourself and how did you get to know about the club?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Akash Kumar. I'm living in New Delhi. I stay here with my family. Beside my parents, there is an elder brother and younger sister in my family. I'm a student at Zakir Hussain College, doing my majors in mathematics. And I hear about Toastmaster through a book, How to Win a Friends and Influence People. And that's it.
Great. So I hope you have a great experience with us today.
Thank you.
Yes, Gautam, are you there? I guess Gautam is not there, so I'll proceed with the meeting and we can have feedback from him later. Before I hand over the stage to our Toastmasters of the day, I just want to talk about renewal. We have already started the renewal drive, guys. I believe you all want to continue your learning journey and you are excited to renew. We also have an early bird discount for all of you till 20th September. So please renew fast. If you have any doubts, you can reach out to me or you can reach out to Jaspirat. Jaspirat has already shared payment details in the group. Although BG has stated this, but I'm just telling this once more that we'll be having 3 online meetings in December and 1 offline meeting. Also, as the theme today is two minutes competition, I'm sure that renewal won't also take more than 5 or 10 minutes. You can do that much for your progress, right? You can, right? All of you? Yes? Can I hear it? Like, can you guys?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes, Jaspirat is right there. He is going to do it. Jaspirat has done it already. With this, I, Srishti, acting president of Capital City Toastmaster, declares meeting 259 open. How many of you are excited for today's Toastmaster of the Day's theme? There is no sound, guys. Why I'm not hearing anything? Make a sound.
You said no sound first.
I like to introduce both Toastmaster of the Day for today. I find the theme very exciting, and that's why I won't make you the club very recently, and she's doing great for herself. And with her, we have the veteran Toastmaster. So please welcome charming Toastmaster Disha and His Majesty Toastmaster Raji.
Very good. Dishaji, your meeting.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Madam Acting President. So, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Welcome to meeting number 259 of Capital City Toastmasters. Toastmaster Rajiv and I would be the Toastmasters of the day for today. So, be ready to witness a fun-filled evening with both of us. Today's team out session would be a game between 6 players. But before I get to the details of the game, let me explain the agenda of the meeting for the benefit of the guests. Generally, a Toastmasters meeting is divided into 3 sections. First is a prepared speech session, where a few Toastmasters deliver their prepared speeches and level up on their learning journey. Next, we'll have the table topic session, where our table topic master will give topics on the spot to other Toastmasters or guests, and they have to deliver a short 1 to 2 minute speech. Third is the evaluation session, where the meeting and speeches are evaluated in a constructive manner. Now, let me first call upon the role players to introduce themselves, and then we can discuss the rules of the game. So first we have our counter, Toastmaster Paridhi. Toastmaster Paridhi, the virtual stage is yours.
Hi everyone, I'm Paridhi. I'm audible. Hi everyone, I'm Paridhi and I'm playing the role of our counter. So my task is very simple. I would listen your speeches and would count the R's and ums and other filler words, because people tends to use these words often, and which disrupts the flow of the speech and makes the speech disinteresting for people. So I will be counting your R's and ums, and then I'll present a report afterwards at the end of the meeting. That's it. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, our counter Paridhi. Next, I'd like to call upon the virtual stage our grammarian for the day, Toastmaster Sakshar.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. I am Toastmaster Sakshar and I'm the grammarian for today. My role is simply to keep a check on the usage of English throughout this meeting and to provide the word of the day. And in the end, I'll be presenting my report. Before concluding, I'll just present the word of the day. I'm really sorry, due to some technical issues, I'm not able to share my screen, but I'll just put it in the chat box. Just a second. Yes, so as you can see, the word of the day is enlivened. So the meaning of this word is to make something more entertaining or interesting. And the usage, as we can see, for example, like the wartime routine was enlivened by a series of concerts. I hope everyone is able to use this word as frequently as possible. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sakshar, for introducing us to the word of the day and the role of the grammarian. Next, I'd like to call upon the timer of the day, Toastmaster Vikram. Toastmaster Vikram, the virtual stage is yours.
Good evening, all. Hello, all the fellow Toastmasters. As the time is the most precious thing on this planet Earth, as we all are subject to time and space, all have some certain time here on the Mother Earth. Some may have longer or some may have shorter, but all have limited. So there's a time limit for all the speakers, and there are 3 stages. On first stage, I'll show the green card, and on the second stage, I'll show the yellow card, which means you have some time left. And on the third stage, I'll show the red card, which means your time is over. So yeah, that is it.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vikram. I hope everybody's has been introduced, is clear with the role of our tag team, which is timer, our counter, and grammarian. Now, to enliven the meeting, I would like to call Toastmaster Rajiv on stage to explain the rules of the game that we're going to play today. To you,
Thank you,
Toastmaster
madam.
Rajiv.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the day. I am just the assistant. We have 3 relatively less experienced Toastmasters who are playing. In case you don't know who you are, I'll remind you, Sakshar, Paridhi, and Rudraksh. And we have 3 experienced Toastmasters, Srishti, who does not like to dance, I'm told, Kushal, and I've chosen Abhijit. Abhijit, will you be able to stay through the meeting? Excellent. The rules are very simple. This is just like a table topic game. You will speak on a given topic, and the topic will be given by our worthy T-Mod. She will tell you what the topic is. It'll be 1 word, and you have to speak on that topic no less than 1 minute and no more than 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Mr. Timer, the timing will proceed just like for table topics. Green at 1 minute, 1:30 gets us yellow, and 2 gets us red, at which point we have 30 seconds. For our guests, everything we do here is timed, and we try to stick to those times. The table topics is a part which, for the rest of the club and for the guests, Anushka would be handling today, and she'll be giving out table topics. This is just a game which is like a table topic. So you get the topic, you start speaking. The other table topics, the game contestants can challenge you, and they do the challenge by typing the word C in the chat box. Whoever C appears first is the challenger. So once again, if you think there ought to be a challenge, you type C. What can you challenge? You can challenge everything that we normally challenge as our counter, grammarian, or staying away from the topic. So if you go off topic, there's a challenge. If you use ers and ums, immediately there should be a challenge. If there's a grammatical error, immediately there should be a challenge. If the challenger succeeds, they get 3 points and they get to speak next. If the speaker succeeds, they get 8 points, 5 for their speaking and 3 for the unsuccessful challenge. Don't worry about the points. I'll keep track of the points. I have not been bribed so far, so I'll be very honest. But I'm open to inducement, let's put it like that. The main rules of the games that we decided also were that the experienced people can be challenged by anyone. Who are the experienced people? Srishti, Kushal, and Abhijit. But the experienced people cannot challenge the newbies. You'll find too many faults, and we don't like that. So the inexperienced people can challenge everyone. The experienced people can challenge only amongst themselves. Rules are clear so far, folks? Anybody has any questions? It's simple. It's just a Toastmaster with a twist. Sort of like a table topic on steroids, okay? All right, now we will continue this game until there is one person or 2 people who are winners, and the winner will get a very attractive certificate as evidence of their great prowess that they have enlivened the meeting with today. So with that, Madam Timad, I would suggest that you pick one amongst the experienced people first. Our experienced people are Srishti, Kushal, and Abhijit. I don't know why the word Abhijit, that name sticks in my mind.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajiv. Before we start with the game, let me call upon the joke master of the day to enliven the meeting more. So, Toastmaster Rudraksh, the virtual stage is yours.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Rudraksh, and for today I'm the joke master, and my motto is to make you laugh. So I have 3 jokes. There are 2 knock-knock jokes, and then there is a very long joke which I'm very afraid that it will be boring. So who is up for a knock-knock joke? Okay, so Disha, it's your turn. So knock-knock.
Who's there?
2.
To who?
No, it's to whom.
Oh.
Grammarian, please take a note of that. Oh, okay. So another knock-knock joke. Who is now up for a knock-knock joke? I can't see the hands. So I guess you have to speak if you are up for a knock-knock joke.
We are all up for it. You choose.
Okay, Rajiv ji, knock-knock.
Knock, who? Who's there? Sorry, I don't know these jokes very well. Who's there?
Tejav.
What? What did you say?
Tejav.
Deja who?
Knock-knock.
Okay, got it. Deja vu, right?
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, so here is my joke number 3. So it's a kind of a story, so please bear with me. Okay, so a man walked into a resort in upstate in New York. And he walks into the dining room and sees a bunch of retired comedians sitting around a table. And so, like finding an empty chair, he joins them. And he hears one of the comedians saying, 47. And the others break out in uproarious laughter. Another one says, 112. And then again, they all just burst into peals of laughter rolling on the floor. And he can't figure out what exactly is happening there. So he asks the guy sitting next to him, what is happening? And the guy says, well, these old timers, they have been together for so long that they all knew the same jokes. So to save time, they have given each joke a number, and now they just have to say the number. The guy says, that's ingenious. That's the most brilliant thing that I've ever heard. I'll also try it. So he stands up and says, 31. Stony silence. He says, 77. Everyone stares at him and no one laughs. So demotivated, he sinks back to his seat and says to his friend, what happened? Why didn't anyone laugh? The guy says, it's not the joke, it's the way you say it. And those were my 3 jokes.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rudraksh, for enlivening the meeting. Now, let's start with the game. I'd like to call Toastmaster Srishti on the stage. And the word, Toastmaster Srishti, are you ready? Okay, so the word for you is glitter.
Glitter.
Yes.
All that glitters is not gold. It's something that came in my mind. Glitter is something very fascinating. But in our life, we have to see that something which is attracting us, is that really worth it, or it's just literally we find a value in it, or we are following it because so many people are doing it. We are after something because other people like it. We should be using our mind and not only get attracted with the surface things. If I talk, then now if I change the thing and talk about glitters generally, then can anyone tell me what all glitters? I'm putting it on audience. Can anyone tell? What? Yashi, what is your idea about glitter?
I think glitters are really nice things. I mean, they can just shimmer up your everything. One should try to glitter up their lives in whatever way they can. And even though you said that all that glitters are not gold, I think we all should try to make it into gold by doing little efforts that we can.
Okay, that's a complete different take on it, and I got it that we should try to glitter, we should try to shine in our life. That's great, Yashi. You gave a great idea. Anyone else? Paridhi? Paridhi, what is your idea regarding glitter?
Sorry, I don't know the question. I was busy at my report. What is the question?
I was just saying, what is your idea regarding glitter? It is challenging. Okay.
Should I continue or?
No, Abhijit, actually Abhijit is challenging. Yeah, Abhijit, yes.
Yes, too many long pauses.
I agree. The challenge given. Abhijit, you are the next speaker. Srishti, you get 0. Abhijit, you get 3 points for a successful challenge. And if you speak successfully for 2 minutes or 1 minute plus, you get another 5 points. Madam Team, give him a top.
Speak for over a minute.
Srishti did speak for over a minute, but she got challenged. Too many long pauses. Right? You guys are not following this? What's happening? So just like a grammarian, challenge what you see is off. And if you are wrong, you get a 0. The other person gets your points. And if you challenge successfully, the other person gets 0 and you get to speak. Madam Timad, go ahead.
Okay. So for our first challenger, the topic is trash. Toastmaster Abhijit, trash is your topic. Start.
Trash. Someone's trash is someone's wealth, and today is a day where we are all worried about our environment, and taking care of our trash is the most important aspect that we should all focus on. So my viewpoint would be that we should start having a model where we start processing the trash, and it should be a circular model in which the trash is consumed, not just pushed into something else and then it again becomes a trash. So something should be a circular model where trash gets converted and it gets used, utilized after and again. So that's my take on trash. That's it.
That was a 0 for being under a minute, but you got 3 points.
Oh, thank you.
Why don't you pick on our less experienced Toastmasters, please?
Yes. So Toastmaster Paridhi, I pick you, and your topic is influencer.
Okay, so influencer, I believe this is the era of influencers. People have the people who influence others are the people who have the charismatic aura, and people, the influencer are somebody who would change your life, your way of thinking, and would help you in achieving your goals. That is the role of the influencer in life, and I think that in so many influencers have influenced my life. Like the influencers, like people who are very influencers, like who help them make who like a self-motivated influencers who help me in motivating myself as I'm studying right now. So they play a very important and pivotal role in my life. So yeah, this is an influence. Thank you.
Thank you. Did she make it to 1 minute, Mr. Timer? 0 points. Next.
Next. So who wants to come up? Any volunteers from our 6 members team?
I would add Shweta ji to that group as well.
Okay.
Okay, I can go.
Okay. So Toastmaster Shweta, the word for you is soap.
Soap.
Yes.
Okay. So I am into marketing, and when you are into marketing, I do sell Himalaya soaps as well on e-commerce platforms. And when it comes to Himalaya soaps, their ROI is what the objective of the brand is. And once I heard a very beautiful line from one of the brand managers that with the soaps category, the customers have very flirtatious attitude because they keep on changing soaps one after the other. So after I use, probably I use Pears for three times, and then after that I would switch to another soap. That is one thing. Second is philosophically, how you can connect soap to your philosophical mind. So soap is something which removes dirt, which helps you to refresh and rejuvenate every time you use it. And it gives you, it leaves you with a fragrance. So that you are fresh after that. And people, so now is the era of using different soaps for different genders. And then there's a third type of soap. So male soaps for males, soap for females, and then there is a third type, soaps for germ protection like Dettol and others. So this is about soap. I hope I have crossed one minute, or I can continue. I can see yellow. Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Timer, I think we have to do something about your timing because people can't see you.
Okay.
So either leave the card up, just cover your entire camera with the card.
Okay.
And leave it up So when the green goes up, it stays up until the yellow comes up, then yellow stays up. So our competitors can see it. Right now, actually, you folks missed a lot of opportunities. She had a lot of uhs and ums, which nobody challenged, and you should have. So Shwetaji is the leader right now with 5 points. She covered her 5 minutes. You can choose the next person, Madam Timad.
Okay, so
Like
next, Rudraksh, Toastmaster Rudraksh.
Yes.
So the word for you is dragon.
Okay, so the first thing that came to my mind when I heard the word dragon is Jordan Peterson, because in most of his videos I have seen that how he talks about that there is a dragon lurking in your philosophical mind and how you can conquer it. And I think that to some extent it is true that everyone has a dragon inside which they have to conquer, because otherwise we might not be living a very fulfilling life, which I obviously don't want to. I don't want my life to be not what you call it, fulfilling. And with that, I have never seen a dragon in my life. And mm, and what?
Ask a question. Nobody's challenging you. Ask a question.
Akshar has challenged.
Oh, he has. I see it. Sakshar, you win. You are next. Sorry. Give Sakshar a title,
Yes.
a topic, please.
So Sakshar, your topic is pig. P-I-G, pig.
First of all, this is a very interesting topic because from pig I can relate a lot of things. First of all, I go back to my old memories. That's the piggy bank, which I remember, and I used to save a lot of money. I had this a very fancy piggy bank I had, and I loved it. Second, it reminds me of pork, pig, which a lot of people eat, and it's quite fun to eat, especially on a barbecue. When you're actually cooking it on a barbecue, the pig, the smell of the pork that is being cooked is quite interesting, and when we eat, it's quite delicious also. Pig, apart from that, it's a very beautiful animal, I feel, because a lot of people hate pig because pigs usually, they live in the midst of dirt. But apart from that, I feel they are very kind and gentle because I have been to farms, and there I have interacted with different animals. And when earlier, I'm this is a confession, I used to be scared of pigs because I used to feel they might bite me or eat me because I used to eat pork. So this was a very silly a very silly assumption of mine. So I used to go in farms, and then I used to interact with different animals, and while I used to interact with pigs, they are quite gentle. In fact, on one of our school trips, we went to this farm in Chhatarpur where there were different cows and pigs, and one naughty student was actually fiddling with the pigs and was troubling them. But in spite of that, also the pigs never retaliated. They were quite kind, and with respect to different animals. For example, if we are fiddling with any donkey or cow, they might retaliate. But I feel in terms of pigs, they are quite beautiful and quite underestimated animals and quite misunderstood too. That's all from my side.
Nicely done. 5 points.
Nicely done. Thank you, Toastmaster Sakshar. So before we continue our game, let's move to our first section, that is prepared speeches, and start with our prepared speeches. Now, the first prepared speech for today would be by Toastmaster Kanishka. Before I invite Toastmaster Kanishka for her icebreaker speech, I would like to invite her evaluator, Toastmaster Kushal, on the virtual stage. Toastmaster Kushal, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, the Toastmaster of the day. So good evening, Toastmasters and respected guests. Today, Kanishka is giving her speech, the icebreaker speech. Now, the icebreaker is a very unique speech because she will introduce herself to the club. She will try to conquer her fear of public speaking. She will tell us a lot of things about herself. And at the end of it all, I will evaluate her. and I will evaluate her on, especially on body language and language usage. So all the best. It's your first public speech. Go for it, Kanishka.
Thank you.
Toastmaster Kanishka, icebreaker speech, Toastmaster Kanishka.
I'm audible to all. I'm audible to all.
Yes, you are audible. Please continue.
Actually, my net is not stable.
You can
today,
try
that's
turning
why
off your
I'm
video.
asking.
You can try turning off your video.
I'm starting my icebreaker. I'm very nervous today. Okay. No, I'm okay. Life is so unpredictable. We desire something, we want something else, and we get something else. Greetings to all Toastmaster and my dear guest. I'm presenting my icebreaker speech. As my title says, it's a journey of 1,000 miles from Delhi to Kolkata. I was born and brought up in Delhi. My childhood was very colorful, not just because I'm a half mad, but because of the surrounding in which I grew up. Like I vividly remember the street in a local neighborhood of East Delhi in which I spent my childhood playing all sorts of childhood games. Like I usually play Stapoos and Chupan Chupai, Pakadam Pakadai, and I used to go with my elder brother to a video game shop to play Contra and Street Fighter. And I also remember some good memories of street performers who used to roam in the street in those times performing a magic tricks or a monkey dance show or some dynamo kind of majestic magics and etc. Overall, it was those pretty experiences that are still alive and are and all well within me that school. I'm not a very good student. I'm an average student and very shy and introvert. I'm usually sit on the middle bench in the corner, and my school experience was not so good. My teacher usually teased me for my hairstyles and for my dress up. I used to wear a dirty dress in school. That's all for my school. I have no friend in school. I think there is a 2 friends of school in mine, but I don't know where they are. And after all these things, I just completed my school. After completing my school, I went to a college which is situated on the periphery of Delhi. My daily college routine was very hectic because my college was very far from my home. It was a nerve-wracking enduring the daily hustles of DTC in early morning or 2-hour long journey. Not just that, I have to take a daily jugaad to reach to my college because it's a very remote or village area. That's why I took a jugaad to reach to my college. But college after all is college, a place where you can enjoy your life the most because of your friends or just the vibe of Velapanti. I have several friends, but only one friend was crazy enough to match my madness. Her name is Ashu. We used to eat, study, and sleep together in the classroom when our biology teacher or zoology teacher lectured. It was the most memorable experience because it shaped the very personality that I am today. After completing my college, I started studying from competitive exam. It was quite learning but traumatic experience for me because every time I see a failure in examination and my my dad, his experience taught me one more valuable lesson of handling pressures, which helped me in the next phase of my life, which was the teaching government job as a teacher in a government school. In the very few years, it was a quite learning and demanding, and then that was the beautiful phase of my life. In my post graduation, I met a love of my life, and we started dating. We first day after our friendship, we fall in love each other, and then I got married after 4 years of my affair. He was a simple Bengali guy who was based on Kolkata. Kolkata experience was folks are very sweet. My mother-in-law was very sweet. My husband was very sweet. Now, sweet was okay till it was in the relationship. But they made my totally vegetarian person, and my husband is completely non-vegetarian person. And Rajma Chawal, they made my Rajma Chawal which hate me. Rajma Chawal, for which I can kill nations. And the one most thing, I love the Durga Puja here. It's a mind-blowing thing here. And I love the culture. And simple people who live in his very fast place. I love my place, and I love this place too. All for my side. Thank you.
Let's give a standing ovation to Toastmaster Kanishka. It was an icebreaker speech, and it was amazing. Your confidence was amazing, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now, before we move to the second speech for the day, let me call upon the newsbee. I'm not sure who is the newsbee for today's meeting.
Yashi.
Toastmaster Yashi.
Yashi.
Toastmaster Yashi, I'm sorry, Toastmaster Yashi, the newsbee for the day. The virtual stage is yours.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My name is Yashi, and I am your newsbee for today. So let's go to perhaps the most talked about place in the world right now, which is Afghanistan. So the Taliban have recently announced segregation of female university students and have prescribed a clothing of black hijab. Burqa-clad women from head to toe every time they are out. How heart-rending it is. But at the same time, Afghans all over the world are protesting over this mandate. On social media, they have been sharing pictures of their traditional dresses, their colorful traditional dresses, with the hashtag "Do Not Touch My Clothes" in an effort to tell the world of the glorious Afghan culture. Look how beautiful and endearing all this is. These pictures give me hope that women in Afghanistan will definitely be in a better place. While we are on the topic of women, 3 women, Justice Hima Kohli, Justice Bela M. Trivedi, and Justice B.V. Nagaratna, were sworn in as Supreme Court judges recently, which makes it a total of 11 Supreme Court judges in the last 71 years, ever since Supreme Court came into existence. Also, Justice B.V. Nagaratna is in the line to become the first Chief Justice of India in 2027. Is this really women empowerment in the 21st century India? We should think about it. Furthering up on this theme of gender representation, after the Supreme Court's verdict, the armed forces and the center has finally agreed to induct women for permanent commission into the National Defense Academy. However, they will not be joining the academy from this year onwards. I must say, the Supreme Court is a little late in giving this verdict. I finished my 12th 3 years back. Where was the Supreme Court? Now, moving on to some cricket news. Virat Kohli will be stepping down as the T20 captain after the T20 World Cup this year. I think probably it is a wise and well-timed decision given his inability to convert the T20 championship into a trophy. Also, apart from this, after being suspended in May midway due to the rising COVID cases, the IPL is finally coming back. Also, we have this men's T20 World Cup in October. So, dear cricket lovers, do not forget to attend your Toastmasters meeting. That's all from my side. Back to you, Toastmasters of the day. I hope I enlivened this meeting with my new friends.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yashi. You definitely enlivened the meeting with the news. So now, Toastmaster Rajiv, do you want we should have one more round of our game, or should we move to the prepared speech? Complete the prepared speech first.
Let's complete the prepared speeches and then we'll know how much time we have.
Sure. So for our second speech, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Shweta on the virtual stage. But before that, let me call upon her evaluator, Toastmaster Kshitij. Toastmaster Kshitij, the virtual stage is yours.
Yeah, I'm audible.
Yes, we're audible.
Okay. So I'm really excited because I missed Shweta's first icebreaker. Today, she is going to present her level 1, project 2. The topic of her speech is Create Life. And I'm hoping she'll enliven this meeting with her speech. So all the best. And the basis on which she wants me to evaluate on is a general evaluation. So she doesn't want me to evaluate her on anything particular. Just a general evaluation. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kshitij. So Toastmaster Shweta, Create Life, Toastmaster Shweta.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Disha. Hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening to the fellow Toastmasters. What do you want to learn during your vacations this year? This was the usual question of my mother every summers. This time I was 30 and I had set my mind on 2 things. Getting to learn either of these would be like opening a treasure box for me. And these were learning either gymnastic or skating. I took no time in responding to my mother's question and promptly gave her these 2 options. However, there was a series of discussions at my home after this, and my mother gave every possible reason that the institute is far, or you can hurt yourself, or the other reasons that I should not take up either of these, or I should rather pick up ice cream making course, which I was too determined on not taking that up. In the end, nobody won. I ended up not learning anything during those summers. Years passed by and I took up one hobby after the other, ranging from learning guitar or keyboard, or learning soft toys or dholak or other things. But there was nothing which could lose myself free, because this very idea of losing yourself free and stretching and flexing fascinated me. It still does. Then imagine what happened last year. I started randomly searching for yoga instructors on internet, and I came across these yoga instructors. I finalized one, and then my family again. My mother said, and my family, they were a little uncomfortable in me having the male yoga instructor. So I asked him if I can get a female instructor. This time I knew that I had money in my pockets and there was a suitable alternative. I was not going to let it go just like that. So he shared with me her number and some of her photos doing yoga poses. Next morning, she was there. And before that, he warned me that she is too young. Next morning, she was there. And after we completed our class, she asked me if I wanted to continue. And I told her, I saw her face and I could sense nervousness on her face. I immediately said yes. After that, later she told me that how people were not hiring her because she was young. She was actually 19 years. And yoga is a discipline wherein you create harmony between your mind and body. However, for me, she was God sent angel because she was helping me to learn how to flex, how to stretch, right? So for the next few months were phenomenal for me. I did everything. I tried doing everything, you can say. I stretched, I did leg splits, I did back bending, I did everything from handstand from to headstand. And I could feel that I was new. I loved what was happening to me. So as it said, that life, your desires are not put in your heart by accident. You have to follow them. So there are other aspects of life which you have to, which goes same way. I started I started as a environment researcher with the government, and I loved my job. But when I got into corporate, it was the role of ESH, environment, safety and health, which I didn't enjoy much because for me it was more of common sense and process implementation. So what I loved more was revenue generating departments. So for after two shorter stunts, I got into intent marketing, where in day out I talk about dhanda kitna aaya, how much money you have made. It is actually my clients who are asking me this, and to turn the tables on the other side, I have started my entrepreneurial journey last year. So I would, which I had long aspired for right after my master's. So to wrap it up with some excerpts from the book, The Secret. The greatest secret of life is the law of attraction. The law of attraction can also be called as law of creation. Your life is not what is happening to you. You are creating it. So just push a little more, try one more time. You can do it. I can do it. We all can do it. With this, back bending is the next milestone, and skating is still there on the bucket list. Thank you so much. Over to you, T-Mod.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shweta, for enlivening this meeting with your speech. So now let's continue with our game. Who would like to volunteer to go next?
We have one speaker not called. Kushal first.
Okay. Okay, so Toastmaster Kushal, the topic for you is cherry.
Cherry, CHERRY.
Yes, cherry.
Okay. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Disha. So cherry is a fruit that I really don't like. In Calcutta, we had this Jewish bakery called Nahum's, and my mother used to go there, and she used to get these brownies, these scotch eggs, these fruit cakes. And when she got the vanilla cake, I remember I loved the bakery's pastries, but I hated cherries. For some reason, I don't know why, maybe I'm paranoid, but I hated cherries. Cherries are stupid. Cherries are overrated. and cherries are not worth my time. I loved Nahum's. It was a great bakery. Of course, I think the family by and large has migrated to Israel now. But yeah, I mean, I wish I could tell them, like, I love walnuts, I love cashew nuts, but I hate cherries. Cherries are overrated. Another thing about cherries I used to remember is cherry blossom, that shoe polish we used to have. So once when I was a kid, I was putting the shoe polish on my shoes, and the shoe polish burst, and my whole my white shirt became black, and my mom is like, "Eto taka diye kinna mein shirt ta tumi ki korle? I paid so much money for this shirt. What did you do?" I was like, "Okay," and that's it. Another thing is, when I was a kid, we used to have this thing like after Cartoon Network, TNT used to come on, and we used to show Charlie Chaplin. And in the ad of Cherry Blossom, you had Charlie Chaplin. I actually thought Charlie Chaplin was alive as a kid and he was doing Cherry Blossom ads. Then my dad was like, "No, Charlie Chaplin is a great man, but he died a long time ago. That's just some caricature." So cherry is overrated, but I really admire cherry blossom shoe polish. That's it. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kushal. I love your stories and table topics. Absolutely, sir. Okay, who wants to go next? Who wants to gain some points? And
I can also summarize the points so far. So we've got 3 people tied up in the lead. Sakshar with 5 points, Kushal with 5 points, Shweta with 5 points, and Abhijit is second with 3 points. So you guys have to start challenging. Okay, one more and then we can hand it up to the table topics master. And if we have time, we can go back to the game.
Okay, so Toastmaster Abhijit, do you want to go next to get some points?
Yeah.
Okay, so Toastmaster Abhijit, the topic for you is McDonald's.
Oh, McDonald's. I remember I was I think 15 years old when I went to my first McDonald's burger. And incidentally, I got a Happy Meal and I got a toy for the first time. I was so excited. Even though I was 15, I was very excited to have a toy. And I was more excited about the toy than the burger. But nevertheless, the burger was amazing. And I was more or less a vegetarian because I did not like the bone in the meat. But I did have a chicken burger and I was quite ecstatic with how it tasted. And that was my first experience of having non-veg food, which I generally did not have. So for me, McDonald's was that. And just to take it a little further, after 3 years down the lane, I did have my first McDowell, right? So that was quite interesting as well. And I would like to tell you more about that story later on. Thank you.
So is the timer?
Did he make it to a minute, Mr. Timer?
No.
53 seconds.
Oh man, 7 more seconds.
Yes.
You would have won. Okay, well, no points for you, 0. All right, ma'am, you can hand it over to the table topics master.
Okay, so now I would like to conclude the teamwork session and invite our table topic master, Toastmaster Anushka, on the virtual stage. Toastmaster Anushka, the virtual stage is yours.
Thank you, Disha and Rajiv, for conducting this session. I guess my audience is already pepped up to receive topics. So this is a kind of a finale round where you guys can practice as to what you have learned so far. So yeah, before I begin, I would like to say good evening, everyone. And it feels really good to be back here on stage and just want to talk about some things. Whenever I watch an English series, I really get lost in the way things are being said. Like very simple things, especially in the British series, they're expressed in a way that my heart goes really crazy for them. And I'm like, dude, when and how are these things going to come very naturally to me? Because we say red color red, we say pain is pain, but then they say my heart was bleeding. And then I was like, oh gosh, this line will make me go crazy. So these things do happen with us, that when we are speaking in this language, we always want to say things in a way that the speaker is in awe, and at the same time, we're not saying the things actually. So, with an inspiration of learning new things and inspiration of improving our English literature and grammar, what I have brought today on stage is that I have written some proverbs. Proverbs are really good way of improving your English language. Proverbs are inspired from historical experiences and can be a good way of expressing your opinions by not saying actual things. Like, for example, if I call Kushal on stage and Kushal is the only person out there whom I have an eye on, then I can just say, Kushal, beggars are not choosers. And in this way, we all know what I mean to say here is that when we don't have an option, when we cannot change, we really don't have options around. But instead of saying few things like Kushal only, you have to come, you have to come, you have to, I can explain to him that I'm really running out of my options, and I think only you can save me because I am in a situation where beggars can't be choosers. So in this way, we all can express things better. So I think now it's a time for me to start sharing my screen. And okay, just close your eyes, guys. I guess topics are written there. All right, perfect. So perfect. Okay. It's here. So it says Capital City Toastmasters. This is an open house. Anybody and everybody is welcomed to come and speak here. So do you all remember this thing when a person sitting right next to you in the exam hall used to say, "Bas ek line bata de, main pura page likh lungi." So I'm going to tell you that one line, and you have to write the story. That one line is a proverb, and you have to think and express whatever comes to your mind. Just feel free to talk about anything. You may beat around the bush if you're hearing them for the first time, but I have tried to use something that is very simple and can be spoken on the spot as well. So in order to encourage participants, I would like to first call, I guess, some experienced Toastmaster. So Kshitij, would you like to give it a try?
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Okay, Kshitij, though Kshitij is involved in evaluation, thank you.
Yeah. I just have one question. I just have to interpret like the proverb and
Yeah,
make
I'm
the
going to
story
tell
on
you
it,
the
right?
first line, the
So I
proverb.
don't have to know the exact meaning, right?
See, if you know the exact meaning, you're going to make sense out of it. If you don't know the meaning, you will maybe beat around the bush. But it's completely very simple.
Okay.
So yeah, just go and give it a shot. So your topic is all good things come to an end. All good things come to an end, Toastmaster Kshitij.
Okay. So generally, if I want to encourage you, I'll change this statement to all bad things come to an end. But the reality is also there. All good things also come to an end. Generally, whenever something good happens in our life, anything, maybe a great relationship, a great career, we naturally develop this desire to always have it, to just possess that thing and never let it go. But then life happens. And what happens is the thing that you love the most will be taken away from you. Sometimes these things can be quite small, like your girlfriend that you just met 3 months ago. Sometimes these things can be really painful, like your parents. You may not appreciate the things right now. You may not particularly see them as good things. But once they are gone, once you no longer have them, you will realize, okay, it came to an end. So if we are talking about good things, there's one thing or one viewpoint we need to see, that how are we actually seeing things as good things? Are we seeing it in the short term or are we seeing them in the long term? Because if you view those things from a longer term perspective, you will actually realize that from a long term, in the long term, when every good thing comes to an end, it is still beautiful. It is still beautiful because at some point you had it and now you don't. But you can't deny one thing, that that thing that you had, it was good, but it came to an end. Yeah.
Thank you, Kshitij, for taking such a beautiful take. I think all bad things do come to an end. There was a time that my Wi-Fi really sucked and I had a really bad time dealing with it. But see, the good days are ahead. Achhe din are here with you all. So yeah, and I think all good things come to an end. Usually used to happen during school days when our summer vacations or winter vacations used to come to an end. And we were like, bas ek mahina bacha hai," and then just thinking about maybe the temperature rises to a level that our holidays get extended by a week was the kind of prayers we used to make those days. Now, who wants to go next? Maybe a guest can give it a try. So do we have Akash behind the screen? Or Gautam? Probably you can just unmute yourself if you're there. Okay, perfect. No problem. Vikram, would you like to give it a try to a topic? And Rajiv can time you. Perfect. And as enthusiastic table topic master, I forgot to tell that the timings remain same. It is 1 to 2 minutes. At the end of 1 minute, there would be a green card. At the end of 1 minute, 30 seconds, there is a yellow card, which I am today. And at the end of 2 minutes, there would be a red card. And if you're speaking something, do conclude it because you have 30 seconds buffer time only on the higher end. So the maximum that you can speak is 2 minutes, 30 seconds. So yeah, Vikram, I'm going to just share the screen and bring topic to you.
Sure.
Perfect. So your topic is the best things in life are free. The best things in life are free. Toastmaster Vikram.
Yeah. So this statement is, I must say, it is a universal truth also, because the best things in life are free. Like the nature has given us so many things to survive, and all those things are free, and the nature in actual has done the justice with everyone. Suppose a person who is nothing in his life, or a very low profile person, he is also having 24 hours, and the person who is running the country, he is also having 24 hours. So the nature has done the justice. The mother earth has given us the main thing we were all panicked about several months ago, the oxygen, that is absolutely free. And yes, it is God's grace is free. God's grace is absolutely free, and it takes nothing to, even if one wants to do something good, it can do it free. You can serve the people, you can go to temple, you can go to gurdwaras and all. So those all things are free, and yeah, that is it. Over to you.
Thank you, Vikram. We really enjoyed the way you took topic on different aspects of life. And one of the important thing about proverbs is that they can be inspired from real life incidents, and also they can be universal truth. So as Vikram started by saying that all good things are free is a universal fact, then that's one of the characteristics of proverbs, that they are universal facts too. So a good take, and you completely got the message. That was the actual meaning of the proverb. Now, I guess we have Paridhi with us, who would be going next. Paridhi, are you ready? Perfect. I'll just share the screen. Paridhi, your topic is clothes do not make the man. Clothes do not make the man. Toastmaster Paridhi.
Okay, so my topic is, can you just give me the topic again? Okay, so my topic is clothes do not make the man. it is a perfect, it is basically we all, the people judge a person by their clothes a lot. Whenever we see people in our bag clothes, we tend to assume that the person is poor, but sometimes it is the opposite of it, and they do it very a lot of people do it, and it's something which become a part of our society. We tends to judge people on basis of that. Also, I think that the clothes does not define people. They have their people should be defined by their by their thoughts, by by their knowledge, and these are the things should define a person in everyone's mind. But unfortunately, people tends to define a person by their clothes, and by all the materialistic things. So it's just, I want to conclude this by saying that, never judge a person by its cover. Can always go get to know about the person first, and then go for judging if you want. That is all.
Thank you, Paridhi. A beautiful take on the topic, and I really like the way you used another proverb to support this proverb, which is "Don't judge a book by its cover," and it's a good way of expressing things. A good job done there. Next, who want to go next? Come on, the next topic is really very, very interesting. Something that talks about being in the present.
Anybody who's not had a speaking role today, folks? Or guests?
Yeah. Akash, Gautam, and I guess all others are members.
Would you like to answer a question, Madam Table Topics Master?
Yes, sure, certainly.
Okay, so time her, please, Mr. Timer. She will be doing a table topic. It's a simple one. If necessity is the mother of invention, who is the father? If necessity is the mother of invention, who is the father? Madam Table Topics Master.
The father in the story is curiosity. Curiosity to bring a change. Curiosity to have something new. Curiosity to improve. Though it's true that necessity will lead to inventions, will give you an idea to change, but it's only the curiosity which will motivate you to get out of bed and work towards that idea. Now just imagine I have this light lamp in front of me. It's a necessity for me, but it was only the curiosity to look better even on a night light that inspired a person to invent it. It was a curiosity that moonlight is just not enough, and we might even have to get up during the night. So it was just a curiosity of Thomas Alva Edison that he thought about, what if we have a bulb invented? Necessity was there, but the curiosity is the father which led to the invention of the bulb. Thank you.
And that's how it's done, folks.
Thank you,
Madam Topics Master.
Perfect. So next, I see Poonam clapping there for me. Poonam, how about you come next, dear? Poonam is like,
okay.
I was clapping
sure,
for
Anushka. After hearing an inspiring table topic from you, then I'm all up.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Rajiv, for coming up with the topic. It really brought me on my toes. Perfect. I'll just share the screen now. So Poonam, your topic is okay. Don't cross the bridge until you come to it. Don't cross the bridge until you come to it. Poonam Negi.
Thank you, Anushka, for the topic. It's a very clear and precise sentence that do not cross the bridge until you reach. So that means do not reach to on any conclusion without knowing the facts, the background, the detailing. One has to understand whenever, guys, 1 second. So there are times when we want to go fast. We don't want to wait for the other facts and figures. And we just see the end result. Oh, after moving through that, we'll get this thing. We'll come to this conclusion. But without doing the certain homework or the back-end research, I feel we should not cross the bridge until we have the clear and concise way to go forward. So that's all from my side. Back to the table topic master.
Thank you, Poonam, for doing this. There was a time when GE would say, I am the general evaluator, I will not be the speaker, kind of excuses that we used to give to each other. Thank you. And thanks to all role players who are doing this 2 roles parallelly at the same time. Don't cross the bridge until you come across it. It's like it's a way to express the situation that in a way we say worrying is the misuse of imagination. At times we just go in our thoughts and say that, oh, what if I don't get up in the morning, I'll get late, my boss will not talk to me, I will get late for the meeting, I'll miss the train, and then build the entire day, I'll miss on my lunch, then I will have a fight with my friend, then I'll come back home, my mood will be off and I'm still in my bed. So this way we plan things so much for the next day just by sitting there on our couches. So don't, just live in the moment, enjoy your life. And yeah, that's all I had for you all in table topics. And yeah, keep using these proverbs and just inspire others to take and make changes. On that note, I would like to hand over the stage back to Timot, who is Toastmaster Rajiv and Toastmaster Disha.
I'm just the assistant. Disha, your meeting.
Toastmaster, we should hand it over to the general evaluator now. Right? Okay. So this is where we end the TMOD session, and thank you, table topic master Anushka, for the amazing, for the enlivening table topic session. Now, next, I would like to call upon our general evaluator, Toastmaster Poonam, on the virtual stage.
Pardon me, one quick point of order. If there's time remaining at the end of the evaluation, we will be back.
Thank you, Toastmaster Disha. Can you hear me? Okay, perfect. Thank you, Toastmaster Disha. And thank you so wonderful TMOD session. I really enjoyed. I was not visible, but I was fully involved listening you both. Okay, so feedback is important. And this is how we all Toastmasters grow in our public speaking journey. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. So in this session, each role player who has performed their role today will get some feedback from the general evaluators. And this feedback is solely depend on my personal perspective. It could differ from yours. So first we start with all the speech evaluators and the speakers, followed by the tag team. And then lastly, we'll talk about the role players of this evening. So guys, are you ready for the session? Great. So let's welcome our first evaluator, speech evaluator, Toastmaster Kushal Sarkar. Kushal, stage is yours. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator Poonam. So can we have a big round of applause for Toastmaster Kanishka, who gave her icebreaker speech today? Giving a speech, even if it's an online forum because of the pandemic, is no joke. Giving a speech takes a lot of courage, and I want to applaud Toastmaster Kanishka for showing that courage. Kanishka, I really enjoyed your speech. I really liked the way you spoke clearly, You clearly pronounced your words. We could understand every single word you were saying. There was no difficulty in understanding you. I really appreciate the fact that you used stories so vividly. I think I speak for all of us when I say that when you were describing your college stories and your other type of stories, some of us could even picturize it. It was so clear. The fact that you've gone from Delhi to Kolkata struck a chord with me because I've done the opposite thing. I've gone from Kolkata and here I am in Delhi. You really had great spirit. You took it into, we could feel the happiness. You were smiling. We could feel the joy. We could feel the enthusiasm, and you connected with us. And that was the best part. Now, this is an icebreaker speech. So as a general rule, unless I'm wrong, and somebody feel free to interrupt me if I'm wrong, we don't give recommendations in an icebreaker speech. Okay, Rajiv's confirmed it. So I know I'm doing something right. And Mr. President. So we don't give any recommendations in an icebreaker speech. You learn things as you go along. Wonderful first shot. Well done. Keep at it. You're on your way. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kushal. So first, I will evaluate the speaker. Toastmaster Kanishka, congratulations for breaking the ice for your public speaking journey. I think it takes.
Thank you, Kushal, for your feedbacks. Thank you so much.
I feel it takes a lot of courage to talk about yourself and with your vulnerabilities. And you did it so smoothly, and the way you thread your entire icebreaker from your school days to college, then you falling in love and marrying to the person whom you were in love, and then the after effects of the marriage. So this was really fun listening you, and also it's a time to know you as a person, because I've been also seeing you only on your essay address, so it was a pleasure knowing you. And as Kushal said, that as a for the icebreaker speech, we do not recommend any recommendations to the speaker. So yes, there is no recommendation as such, but in case you would like to connect with Kushal or me or anybody else in the club, please feel free to do so. And we look forward to hearing more speeches from you. All the best for your journey.
Thank you.
And coming back to the Toastmaster, Kushal, his evaluation for the Toastmaster Kanishka, I would say, Kushal, you have nicely introduced her in the beginning, and the way you have encouraged her, and then you also mentioned about that her personal things, personal objectives out of this speech. So that was very clear, and the evaluation part was in line with her personal objectives, which you have clearly gave her a commendations, which was nicely, and you have not recommended any kind of a suggestion at this point of time. This is brilliant, and overall your evaluation was perfect in line with the speaker's speech. So kudos to you and great job done. Thank you so much. So moving on to our second speaker and the speech evaluator, Toastmaster City, who has done the evaluation for our second speaker, Toastmaster Shweta Gaur. Kshitij, stage is yours.
I'm audible? Okay. So some speakers spread information through their speeches. Shweta, you actually spread joy through your speeches. And I'll tell you how. The best thing about your speech, now this may, in a Toastmasters group, this may seem like, really? But the best thing that I like about your speech is that you were smiling throughout your speech. And believe me, if I'm talking like this without any expressions and I'm not smiling at all, my speech won't be good. No matter how clearly I articulate my thoughts, it won't look good. So you were actually spreading joy by smiling, and I really like that. The second thing that I really like about your speech was it was quite engaging. Like those stories, you started with a question. You started your speech with a question. What should we do this summer vacation? And I was like, okay, this is going to get interesting. And that's how most people think. When you ask them a question, you give them an opportunity to think. And in that opportunity, they can just get lost in their own memories and they can connect with your speech. So that was one thing that I like a lot. Having said that, there are some recommendations that I want to give you on your speech. You remember the point that I said that your speech was quite engaging? Here's a little bummer. Your speech was very engaging, but there's just one thing you can do which will beef up your speech and take your presentation skills to the next level. And that is, you should actually try to reduce the usage of your filler words, right? And I'm not going to leave you like this, reduce the usage of your filler words. I'm going to give you a bonus tip at the end. That's how you can do that. The next thing is, it's a very simple point. Your hand movements were perfect, by the way, so nothing against that. But I think you should stand while speaking, because whenever you are presenting something, during evaluation, it doesn't matter, but whenever you're giving a speech, you need to show certain kind of command over your mind and body. And standing really helps you do that and makes you come off as a better speaker, which you did, but this enhances it even more. Now, as for the bonus tip, I actually tried to analyze that, okay, you are using filler words, that's all right. But I noticed that there were some particular moments where you were using filler words. It wasn't a random thing. There was a pattern to this, and I noticed that pattern. The thing is that whenever we are speaking in continuation, let's say if I'm talking about apples, it becomes very easy for me to talk constantly about apples. But when I switch to oranges, which is a different thing, usually ers and ums happen. So a great thing that you can do is that if you think that you may forget some of the details of the speech in between, you can simply write them down on a piece of paper. Don't explain too much. Just write small pointers that can help you just tunnel in that story. And if you do that, I think your presentation skills will go off the chart, and I really like it. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kshitij, for the evaluation. And Kshitij, your introduction of for the speaker was very crisp, and it was good introduction which you gave, and you have also encouraged your speaker. That was nice. And also in the evaluation part, you have used the CRC approach, which we recommend, when we give the feedback to any person. So commendation, recommendation, and commendation. And you have nicely explained each point to the speaker. As such, I do not see any kind of the recommendation for you at this point of time. But in case if I get to hear you again, so I will definitely try to give you some recommendation. But for now, you have done a good job with the evaluation. Kudos to you. Coming back to our second speaker, Toastmaster Shweta. Shweta, I really love the way you were speaking. You have narrated your personal story with such an importance and such an emotion. I could see there is a lot of emotions were involved when you were narrating the entire story. And I'm in line with the Kshitij, whatever recommendation and commendation he has given you, I'm absolutely with him in this. I also noticed these points. If those things were good, and there was a recommendation from him, is absolutely bang on. But here I have noticed one thing. In your story, you have tried two stories. You in the first beginning, you said that it was about hobby, and also the hobby which loosen yourself. And in the second part of the speech, you have included your professional journey from an employee to an entrepreneur. So I see there are two stories you try to put it together. I would suggest it would be like only a one story with the big impactful message. Its job is done. That point of time. I just thought that the second story could have been another speech. So but the theme was absolutely bang on. Yes, you're talking about hobbies and losing yourself. There's a two different thing I see. Everybody has a hobby, but there should be one thing in everyone then which keeps you like you're at home, you're at peace when you do that thing. So that was a very powerful message. I perceived it. So thank you so much for differentiating this fact. I think for me, I'm not sure about the speaker how they have received it. So, but great job done, and I'm really looking forward to hear you again. So kudos. Great, a huge round of applause for both the speakers. Please unmute yourself. I want to hear the applause. Great, thank you. Moving on to our tag team of this evening. So first I will invite our counter of the day, Toastmaster Paridhi. Paridhi, stage is yours.
Hi everyone, I'm ready with my report now. So let me know when my screen is visible to you. Is it visible?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so the report is here. So the presiding officer, Shrishti, said and ahs 2 times. Toastmaster Disha did very good job. She said only 1 ahs and ums. Speaker one, Kanishka, said 5 times ahs and ums, and words repetition were 6 times. Then Shweta took ahs and ums 30 times, and she used so many times the so and words. Then I don't have any. I didn't found any mistake for Kushal. Then Kshitij took only 1 ahs and ums. Table topic master Anushka was very good with his speech. The timer only took 3 times ahs and ums, and general evaluator said 7 times ahs and ums, and 2 times the word repetition was there. So that's all from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Paridhi, for the report. Moving on to our next auxiliary role players, Toastmaster Saskar, grammarian of the day. Saksha, I'm so sorry.
No problem, no problem. Good evening, everyone. Before presenting my assessment, I would like to mention that my assessment is only based on my limited knowledge of English grammar. And I request you all to please verify or cross-check on the suggestions that I'm giving, either through the internet or through some authenticated sources. So I was quite enlivened with today's meeting, and a few recommendations. First, for example, I'll just speak the error and then I'll correct it. So for example, comes to my mind can be comes to my mind. Instead of it were those experiences, it can be it was those experiences. Those all things are free can be spoken as all these things are free. It becomes a part of, can be said like it has become a part of. And instead of people tends to, we can say people tend to. Also, I would be mentioning the Toastmasters and our respective speakers who were able to use the word of the day. It's Toastmaster Yashi, Toastmaster Rajiv, and a special mention to Toastmaster Disha for frequently using the word of the day. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sakshat. Moving on to our next auxiliary role player, and I would like to invite Toastmaster Yashi, our newbie for the day. Is Yashi in the house? Okay, okay, fine. She has already done her job, so that's great. So then we have, okay, so then we have a timer of this evening, Toastmaster Vikram. Vikram, stage is yours.
Hello everyone. And being a timer was a very boring task, I must say. As I was most of the time, I was not getting what one was saying. So there are 3-4 things, cards, phone, and this and that, and this was happening. So yeah, I would like to congratulate Kanishka for completing her first ice-breaking speech. And yes, you made a great speech, and it took you 6 minutes and 14 seconds. And it was overall, it was a good speech. The second speaker, Shweta, your speech was very good, as I was enjoying your speech, and it took you 6 minutes and 30 seconds. So this is it. This is my report for now. The rest of it I'll share online.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vikram. A huge round of applause for our tag team, guys. So I will start the evaluation starting from our timer of the day. So Vikram, you have, you know what you're supposed to do. So that was a great thing about in your introduction. The couple of things is like, when we use cards, so we have to display not on your screen, but you have to share your screen with all the members so that everybody gets to know which card is being shown. And it is very helpful for a speaker to know where the time limit, because in the virtual platform, it's difficult to see, which window one has to see and which color is going on. So this is just one recommendation. And just, add some more energy and enthusiasm to your role. Then you will not feel it's boring. It's a more interesting and I would say it's the most of, it's an attentive role actually. So I'm sure whenever you take this up next time, you will have a different experience. Try that.
Okay.
Okay.
As I was not interested in taking this role. It was imposed on me. So at last I was like, okay, I'll do it.
So now I'm sure after this meeting, you feel like to do it once again.
Hardly.
Okay, so I think our VP is listening to Toastmaster Vikram, so no worries.
Okay, thank you.
She will take care of this part.
Thank you.
Thank you. And huge round of applause for Vikram for taking up this role.
Point of order, Madam General Evaluator.
Yes, please.
Yashi is back.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much. So moving on to our next auxiliary role player, grammarian of the day, Sakshar, right? This time I'm right. Okay. Sakshar, your introduction was nice. I really like the intonation in your speech. Your voice is like very composed. It's not, you're not going high or low, but it is very good. So as a public speaker, I think this is one of the best natural quality you have. So try, improving it or try focusing on it. So it will really help you. As far as your role is concerned, the grammarian role, I like the introduction part, the way you have explained the word of the day. And I see there's a little bit of encouragement is required when you are a grammarian to people use the word of the day. On this virtual platform, of course, we cannot stay in between, but we can always, give a small reminders on the chat box to, remind the all the members. And also I like the, the disclaimer which you mentioned, this is a fun part that, okay, I'm saying, but please cross check that. So love that, innovation into your role. Thank you so much. And you have, sorry, before that, you also have acknowledged all the people who have used the word of the day. That was a, great part on your side. So a huge round of applause for our grammarian of the day. So next up, we have our AHA counter, Paridhi, and I hope she's in the house. Okay, I guess. Okay, but never the worry. She was new about her role. It was a nice, good, short introduction she has presented. I like the report was very clear and organized, and she has, very attentively listened all the speakers, including me, and she has showed me, as usual, my counter scores are always high. So thank you so much, Paridhi, and great job done. Coming back to our newsbee, Yashi. Yashi, I really love all your news, the way you have, incorporated the rules from international news to the women empowerment, then goes to the sports, COVID, and the enthusiasm. I really like the energy and enthusiasm which you have shown during your newsy role, and all were different news, but the energy which you have put in, I was really enjoying the entire your newsy role. So kudos, great job done. I'm looking forward to hear more from you. Okay, last auxiliary role player is our joke master of the day, Rudraksh. Rudraksh, I just want to say, because I was here, I have always seen, I've just heard you, but never saw you on the video. So this is one request from my side. So whenever we meet next time, I like to see you as well. About your role, see, the joke, making other people laugh is the hardest thing in the world. But you have tried your best to put, things in the shape, and I could see the members were involved. They were laughed, and they were, there's a surprise laugh was there. So which was really, I enjoyed. I think Rajiv and our Toastmasters of the day, they really enjoyed your role. Thank you so much. Okay, moving on to our role players of the day. So I will start with our Toastmaster of the day. We have Toastmaster Disha and Toastmaster Rajiv with us for the. I really like the way Disha, took the initiative, started the session, and she has explained the Toastmasters meeting format, which is very important as a Toastmaster of the day to explain what we are up to today. That was nice. And very nicely, she has introduced each role player of the meeting. All the speaker has been nicely introduced and acknowledged in the meeting. As far as Rajiv, the way you have explained the concept of the theme to all your audience, you were at ease, you were at relax, and then you were saying, okay, we are not going to give you any hard thing, but let's we are talking about this. So I really like the way you have so much of a warmness in when you talk. You are so relaxed, and I think we all should learn this thing from you, that this is there. Talking about the theme, I like the theme was interesting. It's a kind of a mini Toastmaster meeting in your Toastmaster of the Day session, which was interesting. And I like the way you have used the instead of you use the words only, but they were interesting. People were like very they were accepting, and they were talking about those only words like a soap, so trash. So this was really a good idea of bringing those words for the speakers. And I just have one small recommendation for this session. Disha has started this session, but without any introduction of her theme. Just a small recommendation that if audience is sitting, there are members and the guests. So we have to give them some kind of tailor of what we are coming up, so that they can hook to our meeting for a longer time. So that's the only recommendation. Otherwise, everybody, even I, was thoroughly enjoying the session, though I could not able to participate because of my GE role, but that's great. Guys, huge round of applause for both the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Rajiv and Toastmaster Disha. So next up, we have Toastmaster of Table Topic Master, or Toastmaster. No, she's a DTM, Anushka. No, this has to be DTM. Anushka, you are already an advanced speaker. And today I've been hearing you after so long, and I could see a lot of change in you, and that's really encouraged me to follow you. So that's a great thing. And talking about the theme which you brought, I like the way you have introduced your role. you picked up the relevant reference from the web series to our Toastmasters speaking needs. You have told about the proverbs, and it was a really relevant reference to give. And this is a kind of an innovation you brought always on the table topic masters. Like, you said that आपने सुना है कि जब वो एग्जाम में एक लाइन बता दे मैं पूरा पेज लिख दूंगा. तो हालांकि है तो चीज पुरानी, but you put it in a nice packaging, and this is an innovative idea to encourage people to speak. So that was a great job done on your part. So really love that idea and the way you have conducted the entire session. The only piece of recommendation, it just, I guess it's a skip from your mind about the timing to give the explanation of the timing. Otherwise, everything was so perfect, superbly done. So great, kudos to you. Now, about our acting president and the SAA, I think we have a time, so I can talk about that also. So talking about our SAA, so this role is very close to my heart because I started Toastmasters journey with this role only, and I always very excited when who is coming to talk or who is going to start the meeting. That reminds me my memories. And the Kanishka, you bring those things fresh to me. So I really like the way you have incorporated the Toastmasters core value, what we do, what kind of organization we are, and very clear and precise way you have explained the parliamentary rule on this virtual platform, which is very, very necessary to make everyone on the same page in this virtual era. So that's a great job done. It just, if I would say recommendation part, yes, you need a lot of practice, because since you're just starting your journey, little bit of more practice and add some fun element to your essay address. You are 3 minutes, and I think you can add some few more things which makes the audience and the members, the guests, to keep the momentum very at ease or stress free. Because whenever any meeting starts, it is like that, everybody under stress. All the speakers are under stress, the guests are under stress, and see what's going on. And, so this really helps. So otherwise, kudos and really enjoy the address. Moving on to our acting president, Toastmasters, Srishti Sikri. Really like the way you have, took this challenge and, acted as an acting president. And the great thing about you have took this opportunity to encourage people to renew their membership. So that was a great done from the VP membership. Never miss any opportunity to market yourself, market your requirement. So great job done. And I really like the way you have acknowledged all the guests. You have taken their introduction very well. So overall, it was nice. Great job done. Talking about the overall meeting, yes, it was perfectly started on time. Throughout the meeting, decorum was maintained. Only the glitch was about the recording part, which is okay, which is a technical thing. It takes time to understand. Otherwise, I could see the interest was maintained. The energy was there. Enthusiasm also maintained by all our speakers. So great meeting. I thoroughly enjoyed. Thank you for participating in the meeting, and thank you for listening me for that long. So with this, we are at the end of this session, and now I would like to give this stage back to our acting president, Toastmasters Srishti Sikri. So huge round of applause for her, guys.
Thank you, Toastmaster Poonam. That was very sweet words you spoke for me. I feel really great to see you today, and I feel even more happier to see you taking up general evaluator role. So keep coming. We really like you to be part of the meeting. Apart from Poonam, every other role player who took the role. I'm very thankful to all of you. Meeting went really great and the vibe was good. First of all, if there is any guest, I'd like to take the feedback. Can anyone help me? Yes, Akash. Yes, Akash, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Can you give us a feedback? How did you like the meeting? How was your experience?
Experience was very good. I like the meeting.
Okay. Do you want to add anything else?
Yes, I like to.
Okay, great. Thank you. Do we have any other guests? I guess no. So, Nandini, are we ready with the results?
Yes, Srishti, we are.
Okay, then I'll hand over the stage to Toastmasters. Please welcome her.
Thank you so much, Srishti. Good evening, guys. How are you all?
Good, good.
So, all set for results? I see Shweta smiling already. Who's gonna be the best speaker? So, starting with the best table topic speaker. Any guesses?
Anushka.
Poonam.
Anushka.
Toastmaster Anushka.
I thought I did not participate.
Thank you.
So, moving on to the best evaluator.
Kshitij.
You guys are right. It's Kshitij. Congratulations, Kshitij. Best auxiliary role player. Any guesses?
Yashi.
Not Vikram, not Vikram.
Yashi. Yashi. Not Vikram.
Good one, Abhijit. So, yes, it's Newsbee Yashi. Congratulations, Yashi. I guess she's not in the meeting. Moving on, best role player. I don't think we need to guess.
Poonam.
Anushka.
It's the creative keywords, Rajiv and Tisha.
Yay!
Tishan.
And moving on, finally, Shweta, your wait is over. The best speaker. So it's none other than Shweta. Congratulations, Shweta.
Ooh.
I hand over the stage back to Srishti.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nandini. Now, again, my inner VPM is coming out and telling you that, as Poonam said, use the stage as much as possible. That early bird discount is till Sunday only, and generally also, if you want to improve and keep learning, please renew as soon as possible. With that, I, Srishti, acting president of Capital City Toastmasters, declare meeting 259 closed.
Can you please share the link again on the group or renewal?
Okay, just see the account.